But first, which politician has the best approval ratings among Montana voters? That answer from our MTN MSU poll may surprise you. Now, in the poll, we asked registered voters not only who they plan to vote for in the midterm elections, but also who among our state and national leaders is doing the best job. Jay Cohn standing by now to show us those results. Jay.
Janelle, all this week we've been sharing the results of our recent survey of Montanans. We sent out more than 10,000 questionnaires in this mail-in survey, and we got responses back from more than 2,000 registered Montana voters. MTN political analyst Dr. David Parker and our chief political reporter Mike Dennison are here to share the results. Let's talk about those approval ratings, Dr. Parker. Who is most favored as far as who's doing a good job in the minds of voters?
Most favored politician in the state among those that we asked about is President Donald Trump. He has an approval rating. That means strongly approve or approve. 54.5% of the voters approve of President Trump's job. The person that's in the last place is Congressman Gianforte, who has a 48.1% approval rating. Steve Bullock is pretty close to President Trump, 54.2. Steve Daines, 53.2, and then Jon Tester, unsurprisingly, negative campaign, is basically at 49% approval.
So the two gentlemen there who are up for re-election, both with the lowest approval ratings because we're hearing the most negative about them, I'm assuming.
I would agree with that. One thing I want to unpack here a little bit is if you look at Tester's approval rating, among independents, he has a 60% job approval rating, whereas independents basically disapprove of the job that Donald Trump is doing. And that's important because I think it suggests that those independents want to show up and they want to vote for Jon Tester. It also suggests the perils of the Rosendale strategy.
Mike Dennison, let's talk about some of the other issues that we asked voters in this mail-in survey. Illegal immigration, we asked if this is a big concern, and it is.
That's right. You know, the way we phrased it was, do you agree or strongly agree or disagree of whether it's a serious problem? And the answer was 68% of Montanans said yes, illegal immigration is a big problem. And I think you see this reflected in the campaigns, especially in the parts of Republicans who are attacking Democrats. Both Gianforte, both Rosendale in their races are saying, we're the ones who stand to tighten the borders, make them more secure, and our Democratic opponents are for open borders and sanctuary cities. I don't think that's quite accurate, but that is the attack point they're using, and we can see why, because it resonates.
And we also asked...
Another issue that we looked at...
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say we also asked about Obamacare, and you tell me voters in Montana, at least, frowning down on Obamacare right now.
More or less, yes. We had 48% opposing Obamacare, about 31% favoring, and about 17% in the middle saying they didn't really care either way. And I don't think this is that surprising for a couple of reasons. Number one, Obamacare has done some good, but it's mostly covered people of low incomes and people who are buying on an individual market. That's a pretty small percentage of the population. For the rest of the Montanans and the populations, it really hasn't done that much. They haven't seen any positive change in their coverage or the cost of their care. And I'm also guessing that a fair amount of the people who are opposing Obamacare probably wanted a more liberal reform than Obamacare, which is, you know, pretty pro-corporate.
Mm-hmm. Dr. Parker, we also asked about if people are feeling good about the direction of the country and the direction of our state. Tell us about the respondents and how they responded.
Let's talk about the direction of the state first. 51% basically say Montana's on the right track. And you would break it down by partisanship, it's all over 50%. Republicans, Democrats, Independents all think Montana's going the right direction. The question on the direction of the U.S., very different. 50% say it's going the right direction, but Democrats and Republicans completely disagree. 86% of Democrats think it's in the wrong direction. Republicans, 83% right direction. What's key here and critical, independents. 48% say it's in the wrong direction. So I'm seeing here a couple of pieces that if independents show up, and they show up at a good amount, this is good for Tester, and it's good for potentially Kathleen Williams.
Thanks to both David Parker and Mike Dennison for sharing their political expertise with us. And we invite you to read more details about the MTN MSU poll. You'll find that on your local MTN station website.